This is the big story of the day. 68 years after Tata's lost the airlines to nationalization, it appears finally they are all set to take it back. According to sources, Tatas have won the bid for Air India. However, the government is yet to make an official announcement. Remember, this is about a debt of at least 43,000 crore rupees. And if the announcement that is expected soon, the takeover finally will be taking place by December.
A bruised and battered Maharaja, returning to the fold of the group which crowned him 89 years ago. The journey back home has been turbulent, to say the least. With a place of pride, Air India enjoyed in the World Airline Rankings, having slipped to the abysmal levels. If all goes well, the ownership of Air India will be transferred to the Tatas by December. Sources have told India Today that Tata has bid around 3,000 crore rupees higher than the reserve price of 15 to 20,000 crore rupees set for the airline. For the government, it is a case of third time lucky. The first attempt to sell Air India to Singapore Airlines in 2001 failed due to political opposition. The second attempt was aborted in 2018 when Indigo pulled out of the race. Though the deal comes with its own baggage, it's a win-win situation for Ratan Tata, emotionally and financially, himself a qualified pilot. Not only do the Tatas get the entire stake in Air India, it will own the budget Air India Express as well, and also half of the ground handling service Air India SATS. Air India, along with its subsidiaries, has a fleet of 172 aircrafts, 87 of them owned and the rest on lease. More importantly, it has landing and parking slots in some of the busiest international airports like London, New York, Singapore, Hong Kong and Dubai. There are also many unused slots in Russia, former Soviet countries and Bangladesh, which the new owner can exploit. Add to this, the trained pilots, technicians and other staff Air India brings with it. Two iconic landmarks, the 23-floor Air India building at Nariman Point, Mumbai, and the airline house in Lutyens, Delhi, will also be transferred to the Tatas. The government, meanwhile, gets rid of a company hemorrhaging cash. Air India reportedly has 43,000 crore rupees in debt, a hit that the government will take before handing over the company to the Tatas. The sale also pushes the disinvestment agenda of the government. For now, the Department of Investment and Public Asset Management has said that government decision is yet to be formalized. The big point of contention has always been the huge pension and medical reimbursement obligations for retired Air India employees. Tatas had also made it clear that they want zero pending employee dues. Government has reportedly agreed to this. Air India, which will be handed to the Tatas, will have most of its assets and nearly none of its liabilities. Bureau Report, India Today.
But let me help you with the numbers so you understand how big this development could be. What are the numbers with regard to the Air India announcement? Let's take a look one by one. We're talking about Maharaja's business, which is about 63 million passengers in 2020. But let's move on to domestic routes, which are 100. What could be the international routes? 70 plus are the international routes for Air India. Importantly, if we go by the aircraft, it stands at about 172 aircraft fleet, out of which 87 are the own fleet of the Air India as a carrier. But what about individuals, people there employed by Air India? We're talking about 9,426 permanent employees, but out of them, 1,600 are the pilots. Around 1,600 and little more will be the contractual employees, also about 4,201. And all of this, remember, with regard to pilots, 1,600 and also staff members, that includes the ground staff as well. All of this is a large chunk of people and employees who also will have to be taken care of, that facing a debt of over 40,000 crore rupees that will have to be cleared. And if the Tata Sons take over, then all of this could be then resolved by at least December, when the takeover may happen. So as we look at the Air India aircraft, and for a moment, remember, this was 68 years ago when the Tatas actually founded the airlines. Then they lost it to nationalization and they are likely to have it back. Can they revive not only Air India but also the economy with the revenue that will be generated? I also want to now go across to an aviation expert to understand beyond this news. What happens to the crew, to the pilots, to the air hostess, to the staff members on the ground? What happens to their job? I'm joined by Vinamra Longani, he's an aviation expert. My first question to you would be that, because I can tell you I've been speaking to many employees of the Air India who are not willing to come on record, and understandably, but all of them have one question: what happens to their job? So in a situations like this, what do you think is going to be the likely scenario that both the government and the Tata Sons will have to come to as a consensus, Vinamra?
Well, thank you for having me on the show, Pooja. You did a great job by putting this explainer out as to what the new owner of the airline gets. Now, this is a multi-dimensional issue in my mind, because one needs to keep in mind that the Tata Group already own, majority stakes in two airlines in India. One is their joint venture airline with Singapore Airlines, which is Vistara. And they also have a majority stake in AirAsia India, which was India's first foreign joint venture airline with the AirAsia Group. Now, at this point in time, this is all conjecture, in the sense that we do not know what shape and form this acquisition will ultimately take. As you rightly pointed out, these are sources who've sort of confirmed that the Tatas are going to be the winner of the bid. But in my mind, it makes little sense for the Tata Group to have two full-service airlines competing against each other, where they are majority shareholders. Yes, that does involve bringing Singapore Airlines on board, and there are other sort of modalities. But so this is a larger issue as to how these three airlines would sort of look like in future. And to come back to your question, what happens to the staff, especially at Air India? Now, all of that, a lot of it depends on this sort of alignment of their aviation businesses in India.
Okay. So, Vinamra, my question then to you would be that with what we see right now and a glorious past compared to it, to return to that, do you see this as a good decision? Do you think this was long coming and needed and may just revive the Air India and therefore attached businesses to it as well?
Absolutely. See, I think, for the Tata Group, the aviation business this is essentially their legacy, the legacy of the father of Indian aviation, J.R.D. Tata. He set up this airline. It was a venture close to his heart. And for them, like you rightly, it's been pointed out by so many, this is Ghar Wapsi in a lot of ways. So they are committed to the aviation business in India. They are a business house that looks at the potential of the growing economy, and that in future, despite the fact that both their current airline joint ventures continue to lose money, they would want to continuously invest in this sector for the future. So, yes, there is a glorious past, a great legacy. And as far as, them acquiring the airline now, they really do have their job cut out, because as we know, over the last couple of years, in fact, since the merger of Indian Airlines and Air India hasn't really turned a profit.
Thank you so much. Yes, Vinamra, what you're telling us, I think, is very important, that it is also an important responsibility, apart from a celebration for now, so to say, for the Tatas, but they'll have to take care of not only the debt of 40,000 crores, but also about the employees in thousands with them, and all of them will of course, at least hope to have their job and the benefits that come with it. Thank you so much, Vinamra Longani, for all the latest on that. But before I head into a break, I want to leave you with these visuals. The visuals of J.R.D. Tata. This is must be 60 years ago. And we have managed to bring it out from the archives to help you understand that when the airlines was founded as a vision to become a national carrier for a newly independent India, despite his hesitance, J.R.D. Tata had to lose the carrier at that point to be managed by the government, and now coming full circle for the Tata Sons to have been able to get back their airlines. The question will be, can they revive it to its glory and revive the economy with it? You're looking at historic pictures there on your screen of the Air India, the Tata Airlines, back then, now Air India.